Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Nothing wrong with starting at minimum wage. Now I know some people say, nah, they don't get paid at minimum wage. They don't make that much. And then there's, of course, the argument about starting off at 15 an hour versus, whatever. It's still minimum wage, right? My thing is this. Don't have the attitude that it's a bad thing, especially starting out. See, one criticism I have of people who want to raise it, and this is straight up criticism. If you starting on a job new, they can't pay your living wage or all that. If you starting out and you have no idea, basically you are getting trained, you're getting paid to be trained. Now, if you have experience in a certain area, you have documented experience, like references and everything in the area, well, you shouldn't be thinking about minimum wage anyway. Okay, that's when you should be like, oh, hold up, I've been doing this for 5 years. You need to start me off with a bit more. When I talk about nothing wrong with minimum wage, think about it. You haven't been on that job. It's something new. Now, I always tell the story when I started working at this department store, and I was just working part-time. Started minimum wage, it didn't matter. I had another job anyway. I had an office job. But they wanted me to stay around longer because I would always have to leave and go to my office job. And it was like, well, what can you do to stay? I was like, yeah, you give me more money. So they took me off of minimum wage. But understand, I ain't have a problem with it to begin with. See, you're just starting with it. You have to have the mindset of it's just a start. Now, if you still make a minimum wage and you've been on a job 5 years, you got some other issues. Because you have to have the attitude, okay, I'll start at minimum wage, but I'm gonna move up to make more money. And I've seen that a lot. I've seen that at multiple levels, especially at the more retail level. I've seen it at the gym I was working at, the gyms I was working at. Somebody just started their minimum wage. All of a sudden, they were managers. Had one guy like that he started out under me. Well, not under me because I wasn't in a position of authority, but he started out minimum wage, a couple of weeks, all of a sudden he's the assistant manager. I was like, what? Another guy, he started out minimum wage, he became a manager on duty. We jokingly called him MOD. But their attitude was, no, we're going to start, we're not going to complain. We're going to work hard and really get this going. We're going to work hard and get this going. And that's the important thing. See, you got to have the attitude of, let me get my foot in the door. You got to have that attitude. I don't care what the job is. And especially, like I said, if it's a job you have experience at, okay, you have a legitimate argument. And quite frankly, if you got experience at something, you need to let them know. Say, hold up, I've been doing this for a few years. You're not training me in anything. I can bring this right away. You need to be starting me out as a manager. All right. But if you don't have experience at a job, you want to learn something, go in there and learn it. But then work hard in your mind. Even if always have the mindset on any job, you're going to move up. That's the thing you got to have no matter what. I don't care what the job is, how menial it seems. Get in there first and say, okay, I'm going to do something. I mean, you could start at some job, like say you're working at a fast food joint. Right? You're working at a fast food joint. They might have you just cleaning up at first. So, give you minimum wage just to clean up, clean the tables and everything. You want to do such a good job. Well, one, you want to start doing, here's a pattern. First, you want to do a good job to the point they say, oh, very responsible. Let's give them some more to do. All right? And then this is part of the thing. You want to get an idea. Two things. You want to always pay attention to what somebody else is doing. And then if you can, ask them how to do it. And talk to the manager and just say, hey, you do this. In fact, you want the manager to come and look at you and think, oh, we need to keep them around. Because one thing on any of those jobs, the managers are always paying attention. Because let's be real, most jobs that's going to be minimum wage, there's always a turnover. So they want to see who's doing it. You want to work hard and get to the point where they want to give you more money. They offering you stuff. They say, hey, would you like more hours? Like say you start on a minimum wage job, you're only getting 12 hours a week. I think that's the minimum. Okay, you maximize those 12 hours to the point they want to give you 20. Then they want to get you basically to full time. And then, you know, they might give you a lead position. You know, say, okay, I'll do a lead. Oh, a little bit more, okay. And then look into the managerial. You know, and even if it's a situation you don't want, you know, you might not staying on that job. Say it's just a part-time job. You still have the mindset of growing from that. You got to always have that mindset because you don't know what the circumstances are. You don't know where to lead. You know, when I was working at this retail, it was a department store, national department store. There was a guy who was rose up to be vice president for the region. Vice president for the entire region. Vice president, president something. They say he just started out very menial. He just started off on a very menial job, like part-time. But he worked his way up. And you still have that, especially in some like retail jobs that normally have, that will normally start you at a minimum wage, hourly salary. Most of them you can move up on, you know? You just do a great job. Have the mindset of, okay, y'all can start me here. I'm working to the point where I'm running this store. And if you talk to a lot of managers on any business, they typically didn't start off like at the top or making that much money, but they work their way to a position. You know, like retail. I know there's one woman, she started out just as a regular sales clerk. Now all of a sudden she's like a major manager, like over one of those that'll be over a few stores. She just started out, but she had the mindset. See, I'm gonna tell you what, no matter what job you get, you always think in terms of doing it well. It could be a simple job just sweeping. Okay, you be the best sweeper because you never know where it can lead, no matter what. You never know how much money you can ultimately make. You gotta have that. You know, when I was working on that retail job, honestly, I could have been like a corporate. I could have got to the corporate level if I really wanted. Because I was moving up pretty quick and they were like asking about major positions. But my thing was, it wasn't my main thing anyway. But say it that it was. I wouldn't be here. I'd be inspecting some department store now or working someplace really up there. But you gotta have the attitude of no matter where you start, you're gonna learn it, you're gonna master it, you're gonna find out what it takes to do more jobs, more positions. And you wanna get to the point, at a minimum, you wanna get to the point that they wanna give you money. Like you could just hint you're gonna leave that job and they'll say, hey, we'll give you a few more dollars. There's a lot of discretion. And I've seen this happen on too many levels. I've seen this happen. Seen it happen in the government with contractors and stuff. You just gotta be a good worker. So when you look at minimum wage, don't think of it as, oh, I gotta live on this forever. Think of it as paid training to learn a particular job, business, whatever, and then move up from there. That's how I see it. That's how you gotta have that attitude. Don't get caught up. However they pay, no matter what they pay. You don't want to be in a position where you got thinking you want to actually live for a long time on minimum wage. You're just starting out. You got to have that attitude. Like I said, if you've been working on a job for 5 years and you're still at minimum wage, or if you're still at minimum wage, that's a bigger issue. All right. So anyway, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.